A, B, C, D, E, F, G H, I, J, K, L, M, N.
Thank you for coming out to the Holyoke Public Schools today. For people who don't know, just tell us a little bit about your presentation and your message to the students.
My presentation is really based in positivity and the power of believing in yourself and the power of learning. A little bit of my history: I actually failed Spanish in high school from Indianapolis, Indiana. I didn't see a reason why I should learn the language. Then I joined the Marines, and in the Marine Corps, they sent me to learn the same language I failed in high school. And now I use that language every single day of my life. When I was going through school saying, why am I ever going to use this? How am I ever going to use it? Now I use it every single day of my life. So I try to show some of my experiences to the kids and show how they'll be able to use the languages also in their lives as well.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you coming out to the schools.
No, thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, first we're going to start off with the roll call. Where's the kindergartners at? Awesome. And the fourth graders? And the third graders? And the second graders? Did I forget anybody? I forgot the first. Where's the first grade at? Awesome. Thank you all so much for being here today. They call me Wedo Local or Mr. GL. And I'm a rapper. I'm a hip hop artist. And so I get to travel all around the country, and sometimes in Mexico and other countries, also performing. Now, how many of you know Spanish? Wow, how many of you don't know it quite yet, but you're learning it, and you really want to learn more? That is awesome. That is really, really cool. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and my life, and if we're good, I'm going to perform a lot of songs too. And we've got some music videos to go along with it, and I'll show you some pictures and stuff from some of my adventures as well. So, first off, let me show you. This is little baby me right there. That's little baby Wedo Local when I was a little kid. And then that's me. Does anyone know what uniform that is? I heard Marines from someone. So yeah, that's the Marines, that's right. I joined the Marines when I was 17 years old. I'm gonna tell you a little secret. Don't follow my footsteps in this part, okay? I did really bad in school. But you know why I did bad? I didn't pay attention. I'd be disruptive, talking in class when I wasn't supposed to. I didn't do my homework sometimes. And this happened especially in my Spanish class. I'm just gonna keep it real, I'm gonna tell you the truth 100%. I would sit in my Spanish class and I'm like, why do I need to pay attention? I'm probably never going to use this language in my life. Y ahora lo uso todos los días. But at the end of the semester, because I didn't listen and I was being disruptive and I didn't do my homework and all of those things, I got an F in the class. Can you believe that? We don't want to get Fs, do we? No! We want to get A's, that's right, but guess what happened? I joined the Marines, and 6 months later, the Marines sent me to learn Spanish. Could you believe that? So I had a second opportunity, tenía otra oportunidad to show that I could do it. Now I'm going to tell you the difference between me not learning Spanish the first time and me being able to learn Spanish the second time. The difference is this. When I was in high school, I didn't believe in myself. I would tell myself, I would talk bad to myself sometimes. I said, you can't do it, you're not going to be able to do this. And that's one of the worst things that we can do is talk bad to ourselves. But when I joined the Marines, I did believe in myself. And I had a lot of confidence. So when they sent me to learn the language, I was able to do it a lot easier because I believed in myself. And before we get started, I'm going to tell you the difference, and it's kind of to help you understand better the difference between believing in yourself and not believing in yourself, okay? When you don't believe in yourself, it's like walking into a dark room, trying to find either keys or books or a video game controller, and you're trying to find it on the floor, but it's so dark that you can't find it, so you trip and you stumble and you bend your knee and you hit your elbow, and you're like, ouch, 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 ouch. You go through all these bumps and bruises. Believing in yourself is when you turn the lights on. You flip the switch You turn the lights on, and then you're like, oh, there's that video game controller right there. There's my book, there's my homework. And that's the difference between believing in yourself and not believing in yourself. So always remember, flip the light switch on, okay? All right, now we're gonna jump into the music. Who likes music? Who likes hip hop music and reggaeton? Okay, all right. This is a song, it's a bilingual song. Who knows what bilingual means? Bilingual means you speak how many languages? Two, that's right. Bilingual means you speak 2 languages. Trilingual means you speak 3 languages. Does anybody know the word when you speak more than 3 languages? Multilingual. That's right. Yep. She said multiple, but that's multi goes right in with that. Okay, multilingual. So this is a bilingual song. It's in English and Spanish. And I wrote this one for my daughter. And the little girl that you're going to see in here, she's my daughter. And then, and from there, you'll be able to kind of see the song that I wrote for her from a dad to his little girl, straight from my heart. Here we go. We filmed this in San Antonio, Texas. Has anybody been to Texas? Yeah, a couple. Okay, awesome. Check this out, okay? You're going to get to see some things that you normally might not see. Here we go. Okay, turn this up a little bit. Check. Everybody hear me okay? All right, this is gonna boom. All right. Yep, that's my daughter. Here we go. Do you feel me when I tell you I love you? Can you feel me? Can you learn from my struggles? I hope you feel me. Watch out for the trouble and don't worry about those means. They're not even on our level. Do you feel me when I tell you I love you? Can you feel me? Can you learn from my struggles? I hope you feel me. Watch out for the trouble and don't worry about those means. They're not even on our level, girl. Mira, mija, escuche lo que yo digo y vas a aprender la razón por la que yo vivo. Yo quiero que tú seas mucho más que yo y que tú aprendas china, árabe y española. Haz lo que sea, pero no seas como todos, así como tu papi, todo a mi modo, sin pena. En las malas y las buenas, no importa lo que sea, siempre serás mi nena. So I wrote this song for my daughter so that she could understand that she can do anything that she puts her mind and her heart to. But the same goes for each and every one of us here. Here we go. Do you feel me when I tell you I love you? And can you feel me? Can you learn from my struggles? I hope you feel me. Watch out for the trouble and don't worry about those feelings that I even on our level. Do you feel me when I tell you I love you? And can you feel me? Can you learn from my struggles? I hope you feel me. Watch out for the trouble and don't worry about those meetings. They're not even on our level. La vida que la tomes día por día. Invites a Dios para que sea tu guía como ha sido el mío en este campo de minas. Este campo de minas que llamamos la vida. Hay reglas en este juego, hay que seguirlas bien. Si tú lo haces, tú harás solita lo que no pueden con 100. Que seas fiel y que cuides bien. Y que trates a la gente como quieres que te traten. Y trates a la gente como quieres que te traten. That means treat people how you want them to treat you. And if we do that, we will make a big difference in this world. Here we go. Do you feel me when I tell you I love you? And can you feel me? Can you love my struggles? I hope you feel me. Watch out for the trouble and don't worry about those meanings that I even on our level. Do you feel me when I tell you I love you? And can you feel me? Can you love my struggles? I hope you feel me. Watch out for the trouble and don't worry about those meanings that I even on our level, girls. So here's some shots from the Chicago Music Awards. I'm from Indianapolis, so it's kind of like being from Holyoke or Springfield and getting nominated for something in Boston. So for me, because Chicago is a much bigger city than Indy, so I've been able to travel all around. And now, as you see there, I won awards for the same language, for rapping in the same language that I failed in high school. So always believe in yourself. Even if you don't do it right the first time, what do you gotta do? What do you gotta do to get better at something? If you want to get better at something, what do you gotta do? Tell me. Believe in yourself is one, but what do you got to do physically? What do you got to do? Practice, exactly. It says it right there. Practice, practice, practice. So if you want to get better at something, what do you got to do? If you're not very good at something, you want to be good at it, what do you got to do? And if you're already good at something, but you want to be great at it, what do you got to do? And if you're already great and you want to be the absolute best, what do you got to do? Practice, practice, practice. Excellent. And you all are a great, great, great crowd this morning. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it because you're all participating and you're letting me know how much spirit that you have here at your school. So thank you so much. Here we go. So now I'm going to talk about why we learn Spanish. Remember I told you when I was in school, I said, why should I learn this language? How's it ever going to help me out in my life? And I found out that it would help me out a lot. Now these are just 4 of the reasons, but there are so many more, okay? Did you all know, since you're learning in 2 languages, it makes you smarter? Not just because you're learning another language, but because your brain is changing. Your brain is working differently than it would if you only spoke 1 language. And this also helps you to learn a 3rd language or a 4th language, maybe a musical instrument. And guess what? Scientists have proven that learning other languages actually helps you with math. Who loves math? Who doesn't love math? Okay, so like me, I've got a kind of, one of those relationships with math, okay? But learning other languages will help you with all of these things. La otra cosa, the other thing, how many people here have family or friends who don't speak English? They only speak another language. So you know how important it is to be able to communicate with them. If you've got an abuelita, a grandmother that doesn't speak English, and you're able to speak to her in her language, guess what? The relationship between you and your grandmother is going to become so much stronger. And she's going to be able to tell you, your abuelita, she'll be able to tell you about the history of your family. And with that knowledge, you'll be able to tell later, like a whole bunch of years from now, you'll be able to tell your kids and your grandkids what your grandmother told you. And that's just one example of the power of learning languages. Who likes to help people? Who likes to help others? Do nice things for other people, right? We don't want to be bullies, do we? No, we don't want to be bullies. Bullies, they don't get to have fun like everybody else does because they're mean and they're cranky and they're all the time trying to push other people around. While the rest of us, we're out trying to have fun. Okay, we're out trying to help each other out. For me, not just as what a local, but as me, the human being, it is so important to help other people. So important, not important. I can't even explain how important it is. We're not here, it's not just us on this earth. It's not just us in the United States. It's not just us in Massachusetts or here in your town in Holyoke. It's all of us. It's all of us together. And we've got to look out for each other because that's the spirit of the United States, is really looking out for our neighbors and making sure that everybody is okay and everybody loves this country as much as we all do. And then who likes to watch cartoons? Another major reason to learn other languages is you get to watch more cartoons, right? Who watches cartoons in Spanish or some other language besides English? You do? Who watches bilingual cartoons? They even got bilingual cartoons now. So when you know another language, you get to watch more cartoons. And that's one of my favorite things to do when I'm not working, going to school, or performing for everyone here. Because even though I'm grown, guess what? I'm still in school. Okay? Learning es por vida. Learning is a lifelong thing that we do. Every day we want to make sure that we're learning something new. So that way our brains keep going. Learning, reading, doing math, learning languages, it's like a workout. It's like going to the gym for your brain. Okay, if you want to get big muscles, you go and you get in the gym and you work out, and you lift weights and do those things, right? Well, if you want to be smarter, if you want to have a strong brain, then you want to read, you want to study, You want to learn other languages, you want to learn a musical instrument, and this will make your brain stronger, okay? I promise you, I promise you. So who knows el alfabeto en español? Who knows el abecedario? Okay, in case you forgot, let's wrap it real quick together. This is kind of fast, okay? But I think that you'll be able to get this, okay? We're gonna do it without the music, and then I'll put the music on, okay? Here we go. And feel free to sing along with me. Okay, we all should know the letters to this. Las letras. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Excelente. Let's try it one more time, okay, everybody? And here's one thing I'm gonna say. There's only two real ways to fail in life. We all know what to fail means? Okay. There's only two real ways to fail in life, in my opinion. One is when you never try. When you never try, then you've already failed. And the other way that you fail is when you give up. Because think about it. Even though I got an F in my Spanish class, did I fail in Spanish in life? Only in that moment I did, but when I went and learned Spanish, then I hadn't failed anymore. Okay? So even if you're not good at something at first, or even if you fail, keep trying and keep trying and keep trying, and I promise you, you will get great results, okay? Y ahora lo vamos a cantar. Let's try to sing it all together like I said. We only fail when we don't try and when we give up. Okay, let me get my Word Local glasses on. All right, I'm ready to perform now, okay? All right, here we go. Oh, without the music, sorry. Uno, dos, tres. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Excelente, excelente. Okay, y ahora con la música. And remember, in the middle of this song, who knows las vocales en español? It's A, E, I, O, U. Sing it with me. A, E, I, O, U. 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 And I'll talk about the vowels in un momento, okay? Here we go. You can move around a little bit. Okay, here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Excelente. Gracias, gracias. Now we're going to do las vocales, okay, those vowels. Here we go. A, E, I, O, U. 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 Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y. Excelente, un aplauso para todos ustedes. Great job, great job. Now when you look up here, the great thing about Spanish is this, el español. Because I used to be a teacher too, and my students would tell me, Mr. GL, because that's what they called me, they say, Mr. GL, I can speak Spanish, but reading and writing is way too hard. And I said, what? Are you kidding me? You can read in English, you can definitely read in Spanish. Did you know that English is the second hardest language in the world to learn? Sometimes we don't notice it because we grew up with English, but English is a very, very hard language to learn. Does anybody know the number one hardest language?
Portuguese.
Tell me.
Portuguese.
It's Chinese Mandarin. So Chinese Mandarin is the hardest language in the world to learn. English is the second hardest, okay? So, in Spanish though, guess what? In Spanish, You know how in English sometimes if you put an E at the end of the word, it can go from cat to Kate, or from Matt to mate. You know what I'm talking about? Those of you that are learning to read deeper? Okay. In Spanish, there is basically none of that. Okay, the letters sound the same all the time. And that's why I talk about the vowels, and we're going to talk about the vowels here in a minute. But the letters sound the same almost all the time with just a few little changes. So if you learn those few little rules and changes, you can read and write anything in Espanol. And it's much easier than doing it in English. And if you can do it in both languages, it's going to help you out so much. Okay. So now, like I was saying, we're going to talk about the vowels, las vocales, okay? Repeat this one after me. Ah. Wow, okay. Manzana. Mañana. Adios. Just kidding, not yet, not yet. Okay, here we go. Elefante. Esteban. Espejo. Great job, great job. Inicio. Bicicleta. Now, bicicleta, if you didn't know Spanish already, does this kind of look like an English word a little bit? What English word does it look like? Bicycle. So there are so many words in Spanish that look like English words. And most of the time, they mean the same thing as well. Most of the time, okay? So, what's this one? Invierno. Ocho. Agosto. Otoño. Universo. Tú. Uber. I always tell people, if you ever get confused and you want to say that a Spanish it sounds like you, just remember the word Uber. Okay? Because they actually use the Spanish way of pronouncing it. So now let's all say these together so we remember them forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U. Excelente, un aplauso para todos ustedes, gracias. You are being such a great crowd. Who thought that the rapping el alfabeto was a little bit too fast the first time? Okay? Guess what happens? How many of you play video games? Okay. So, I know I said the magic word, my bad, okay? But when we play video games and we first start to play that game, sometimes we're not very good at it, right? Sometimes we try to play that first level and we're not very good, right? But then what happens? What do we have to do to get better? Excelente, practice, okay? And so this is the same thing. If something seems hard to you a little bit at first, don't give up. Just keep practicing and practicing and practicing. So those of you that practice with me the first couple times, this is going to be a lot easier this time, okay? Here we go. Let's do this, the same song, todos juntos. Here we go. Excelente, bravo, bravo, great job with that one. And with this, we are going to jump into the next part here in a moment. I got the slow down reggaeton ABC track. Are you ready for that? Okay, vamos a ver, vamos a ver. So, I just want to show you this because if you would have told me when I was that kid sitting in school, if you would have said, man, one day you're going to be receiving awards and being able to go to all these community events and award shows and walk down red carpets and have music videos, I would have told you, yeah, maybe, I might do those things. But if you would have told me I would have done it in Spanish, I would have been like, no way, are you crazy? Están loco? Well, I would have said están loco back then. But I would have been like, you crazy? But this, because one day I decided to believe in myself. One day I told myself that I could do it. These are some of the cool things that I've been able to do. This is from one of the international awards. And for me as a dad, for me as a father, one of the coolest things was when my daughter right here got to walk down the red carpet with me. That was like one of the coolest things in my whole entire career, was that right there. But I'm also, this is my friend Ocho, his parents are from Guatemala. And Ocho was also a Marine, or he is also a Marine, excuse me. But he plays the rock guitar. And so when we do big festivals and things like that, we've got Ocho there rocking out with the guitar, we've got DJs, and it's just really fun to be able to combine my music with other people also. But these are some of the awards I've won. I've won 5 Chicago Music Awards and 1 international award, all for rapping in Spanish. Thank you, gracias. So now, if you thought that was a little fast, we're going to break this down line by line. Again, vamos a hacerlo sin la música primero. So we're going to do it without the music first, and but this is a repeat after me. So I'll say the first line, and you'll know which line we're on because I'll have the numbers up, okay? I'll say the first line, then you repeat. Then I'll say the second line, then you repeat. Then I'll say the third line, and then you repeat. You get the idea, right? Okay, so let's try it out first, okay? Lo vamos a practicar. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Niñas y niños. O, P, Q, R, S, T, V. O, P, Q, R, S, T, V. And finally, the last one. W, X, Y, Z. Now, some of you may have learned the W pronounced more like W or different ways. There's a few different ways that different people from different countries and different areas that they pronounce it. So I learned the W from my Puerto Rican friends, and so that's what I normally use is the W instead of the W. I just wanted to bring that up, okay? So now we're gonna do it con la música. Here we go. We're gonna move around a little bit. Okay, here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Niñas y niños. O, P, Q, R, S, T, V. W, X, Y, Z. Wow! I'm not even kidding. I'm not just telling you this to tell you this, but you all are doing an absolutely great job, way better than most of the other schools that I go to. So I just want to tell you that because you all are doing a great job. Vamos a hacerlo una vez más, and let's see how much easier it gets. Here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. H, I, J, K, L, M, N. Niñas y niños. O, P, Q, R, S, T, V. W, X, Y, Z. Excelente, un aplauso para todos ustedes. I hear some of you out there. you out there are doing it better than me already. That's pretty cool. So you know what else I'm going to do? Is I'm going to songs that we have recorded. If your teacher send me a message, your principal, they send me a message, I'm going to send the songs. So that way if you want to practice in classroom, if you want to make your own music videos, you are more than welcome to use my music however you want to in a positive way, okay? So please do that once I send those. Now I'm going to talk to you. We all have rules, right? There's rules in life, there's rules in school, there's rules when you walk down the street, right? Well, I have some life rules of my own, okay? And I'm going to share those with you right now. One of them is be nice to others. It's so important that we're kind to other people. We don't like it when people are mean to us. We don't like it when people are mean to our parents, when they're mean to our grandparents. So we shouldn't be mean to other people, okay? We've got to be nice because guess what? It feels really good when we're nice to other people. It feels really, really good when we can help out other people. Okay, I promise you that. Now the other rule, we've already talked about this. What do we do if we want to get better at something? Practice, practice, practice. Otra vez? Practice, practice, practice. Very good, that's right. And then the third thing, we've also talked about this a little bit, is to believe in yourself. It's so important. Sometimes even if you don't know that you can do it, tell yourself you can anyways. And I guarantee you, the lights will come on. A lot easier than if you're like, oh, I can't do this, I'm not going to be able to do this, because guess what? If you tell yourself you can't do something, you're right. You are absolutely right if you tell yourself you can't do something. But as soon as you say, I can do this, si se puede, as soon as you say that, then it flips the light switch on, and then you will be able to do it. So make sure you're always telling yourself that you can, that you believe in yourself, and I just want to talk about these pictures real quick. This is my very first time in Massachusetts. La primera vez. I flew into Boston yesterday, into the Boston airport, and I went straight to the Berklee College of Music. You know why? Because even though I'm a rapper, and even though I've been able to be successful doing that, I knew that I needed my education. And so you know what I did? I went to school for something that I was very, very interested in. Music and music business. So I went to school at the Berklee School of Music online. And this was my very first time being able to come and see the school for myself, the physical school for myself, because everything I'd done was on the internet. If you want to do better for yourself, we gotta find a way. We gotta find a way to make it happen. I could have been like, you know what, I'm too busy, I got my rap career, and I gotta do this, and I gotta work, and I gotta do all these other things. But I found a way. And I'm still in school, not at Berklee, but I'm at another school now. And my plan is, because I'm studying law, my plan is to hopefully one day live here in Massachusetts and go to, does anybody know what that says up right there? Harvard Law School. You guys in Massachusetts have one of the best law schools in the entire world right here. So my hope is that one day I'll get accepted and then I can go from being a rapper to being a lawyer. How's that sound? Don't put limits on yourself at all. Don't tell yourself, oh, just because I'm this, I have to do this, or just because I'm that, I have to do that. You can do anything in this world that you put your mind and that you put your heart to. And then right here in the middle, this is from my city of Indianapolis, Indiana. Has anybody ever been to Indianapolis before? Okay, I didn't expect very many hands to go up, but that's my city, and I really love it. We just did a TV interview, and I like that picture a lot. But Massachusetts, you have been really, really awesome. Really, like I got to see so many things yesterday from the United States history. I went to where they did the Boston Tea Party. I went to other areas, the other historical places. Your state, you guys don't even know how awesome of a state that you have here, how historical of a state, okay? We're gonna do this one time, una vez, and this is, estos son los verbos, okay? And it goes like this, yo canto, yo canto, yo canto. Here we go, check it out. Yo canto, yo canto, yo canto. Tú cantas, tú cantas, tú cantas. Él canta, él canta, él canta. Ella canta, ella canta, ella canta. Usted canta, usted canta, usted canta. Ok. Y nosotros cantamos, nosotras cantamos, nosotros cantamos así. Y vosotros cantáis, vosotras cantáis, vosotros cantáis así. Ellos cantan, ellas cantan, ustedes cantan, ok. Ellos cantan, ellas cantan, ustedes cantan, ok. So what does cantar mean? To sing, that's correct. So when I say yo canto, yo canto, yo canto, what am I saying? I sing, I sing, I sing. What does tú mean? What does yo mean? Yeah, I mean. So yo canto, tú cantas. What does él mean? He. Él means he. What about ella? What does ella mean? Her or she. What about usted? Does anybody know what usted means? Usted is like you. It's like tú, but it's a very respectful way of saying tú, when you use usted. Usted is the way that you want to speak when you're talking to your teachers, to your principals, and sometimes even your parents. You want to use usted. So usted canta also means you sing. So ahora vamos a cantar juntos. Nosotros cantamos. What does nosotros mean? We, or us, that's right. So nosotros cantamos. Okay, lo cantamos juntos una vez. Here we go. Yo canto, yo canto, yo canto. Tú cantas, tú cantas, tú cantas. Él canta, él canta, él canta. Ella canta, ella canta, ella canta. Usted canta, usted canta, usted canta. Ok. Y nosotros cantamos, nosotras cantamos, nosotros cantamos así. Y vosotros cantáis, vosotras cantáis, vosotros cantáis así. Ellos cantan, ellas cantan, ustedes cantan, ok. Ellos cantan, ellas cantan, ustedes cantan, ok. Now, this is stuff. These things with the verbs, these are things that you're going to learn deeper later on. But I just wanted you to see one thing. We can learn with music. If you're confused about something, if something's just not clicking, create a little rhyme, create a little poem. Everybody knows that rap and hip-hop is poetry, right? Everybody knows that. Rap and hip-hop is poetry with music attached to it. Okay? So write down a little poem and say it over and over and over, and watch how fast it gets stuck in your head. And if you don't believe me, some of you are going to be walking down the hall later saying, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then you'll see the power of la música. So these are some of my other friends I get to hang out with from the Alien Kingdom, and we are working right now on a comic book. Who likes comic books? We're working on a comic book to talk about and allow others to read about the things that we're talking about today, a lot of the same issues. So here we go. Why do we learn Spanish? One, it makes us smarter. Two, for our friends and our familia. Three, para ayudar a la gente, to help other people. And four, to watch more. Correcto. Here's some of the places I've been able to travel to. Does anybody have family from Cuba? This is an important part of learning other languages also, is you get to travel. You get to meet people. You get to go to other places. You don't have to hire a translator or worry about if you misunderstood someone. You get to get around a lot easier. I went to Cuba 2 years ago, and I had an awesome time. The Cuban people treated me great while I was out there. And of course, la comida también rica también. Anybody has family from El Salvador? I got to go to El Salvador also, and El Salvador is another beautiful place with awesome people. I didn't even know these people. This is their house. I didn't even know them. But they fed me, and they were like, yeah, go ahead and go to sleep in the hammock. I said, okay, 5 minutos. 4 horas luego, I woke up. So I fell asleep in the house. But every time I went to other countries, the people have been so kind to me. So kind. And we got to remember that here too. We've got to we have to use that kindness. We have to use that kindness to show the rest of the world who we really are in the United States of America. And we do that by treating other people with kindness, with dignity, and with respect, the same way that I've been shown that in other countries. And now I'm here bragging about other countries. We gotta be able to brag about our country too. But the way we do that is with each and every one of us. So there we went fishing in El Salvador. That was really fun. I got to go to Mexico. Does anybody have family from Mexico? Mexico? I got to go to Mexico. And guess what I found out in Mexico? Because I'm like, they probably don't like American football that much. I know they like football, like soccer. But in Mexico, they actually have all-girl football teams that wear helmets and pads and get out there. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because I'm the dad of a son and a daughter. And I believe that my daughter should have each and every opportunity that's available to my son. So to see that in Mexico was something that was pretty cool. And we were gonna have, we're at 8:45 or 9:45? Or, no? Okay, cool. Well, she said we get to take our time, so guess what? We're gonna watch a little bit of this video. It's a little bit outdated because you're gonna see where Burger King, like I show it because you'll see there like with the little motorbikes, and this is 5 years ago. So 5 years ago when I was in Mexico, I was like, whoa, I was so surprised that they delivered Burger King to your house. Now we have Uber Eats, so it's kind of like not as cool as it used to be when I showed this video. But this is me when I got to go to Mexico in 2013. Check it out and tell me if it's a little different than what you thought. That's us with Ocho and with our road manager, Manu. This is us at one of the schools, so you're going to be able to see the schools in Mexico, okay? This is the first time I talk to students about learning other languages. And I was in Mexico talking to them about learning English and Chinese and other languages. And the schools are like outside, or they're inside, but you walk outside of the classroom walk outside to go to the next classroom. We visited the orphanages while we were out there. We got to meet a lot of really awesome young kids that don't have a mom and dad. And next week or the week after that, I'm going to be doing a Skype session with them to check up on them to see how they're doing. This is us at one of the schools when we were out there. And I got my Indiana shirt on because, I love where I'm from, so wherever I go, I try to represent. This is at the English school at the university. Here's Burger King. This is what I was talking about. You see that? They deliver to your door, so I'm calling up like the Whopper Whoppers and those Whoppers, and they're like, bring it right to my door. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Who likes Mexican food? Who likes tacos? Who likes chilaquiles and burritos? Man, I love it. And so, we got to see hasta los peruanos estaban en la plaza cantando. I go to a birthday party, and I'm thinking we're gonna have some tacos and carne asada, and guess what? In Mexico, they have hamburgers and hot dogs on the grill. I was like, whoa. And then I'll show you this so that way you can check out the young ladies practicing los tinies. Así les dicen los tinies. Cool. He said emos. I'm just going to show you some pictures, story real quick. I'm a lot better now, but I used to be very, very, very afraid of heights. Anybody else afraid of heights? Or afraid of something? I used to be really afraid of heights. But you know what? I challenged my fear of heights, and I challenged it, and I saw this thing that I could go do, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go do this. And so the first thing we did was, we get there and we get on a boat, and this big boat like blasts us across the ocean. And then once we get out of the boat, we're on the beach, and we get in this big, huge safari truck. It's like, my neck was hurting and everything after that. Then we're at the bottom of a mountain, and we're looking up to the top of the mountain, and it's way, way, way up there, thousands of feet. And I'm like, how are we gonna get up there? Guess how we got up to the top of the mountain? With the donkey. She looks like a horse, her name's Canela, but she's actually just a really big donkey. And I don't think she liked me very much at first. at all. You know why? Because all the rest of the donkeys are just clip, clop, clip, clop. And mi canela así. Clip, clop, clip. And I'm like, canela, vámonos. Like I'm using everything that the trainer showed me and everything. Vámonos. She's like, no, clip, clop. And then she smelled the last donkey behind us. She smelled that donkey and knew he was right behind us. And boom, she took off and I'm like, whoa! Almost knocked me off. But guess what? Canela, she got me to the top of the mountain. And guess, as we're standing on the top of the mountain, and like I said, I'm afraid of heights. So I'm standing there looking down, and I can see the river flowing. I can see animales down there by the rio, and the árboles. And I said, whoa. I said, I don't know if I can do this. But then I saw two little kids, about 10 years old, 11 years old, brother and sister, and they came up and they got ready and whee! All the way down. Guess how we got down from the top of the mountain? Those kids motivated me, and I said, if those kids can do it, I can do it too. Guess how we got down to the bottom? There's one way. That's the main way with the zip lines. So we had 8 different zip lines, and I'm so scared. But guess what? I'm not a fool. I'm not going to go and do things just to get rid of my fear if it's also not safe. It has to be safe too. So you see, there's 2 cables there, and then right there, there's 2 locks. Right there, there's 2 safety harnesses right there to be able, if one of those would have broke, then the other one would have helped me out. And this was so much fun. And after I did that, my fear of heights got a little bit less. And then I'll go back to the other picture. And we also did this. We rappelled down the side of the mountain, and we took 2 really huge water slides also. But if I would have said, no, I'm not going to do it, I'm too afraid, I would have never done it. And I would never have these pictures and these stories to tell you all right now. We got to go to one of the most important indigenous sites in Mexico. We went to Oaxaca, Mexico. This is called Monte Albán. And as you can see the pyramids back there. When we were leaving Mexico to go to El Salvador, I looked out my plane window and guess what I saw? Monte Albán. This is the sky view from exactly where we were standing, because we were standing, I believe, we were standing right here when we took this picture. So we were standing right there when we took that selfie, right there. And I was there with students from UCLA, the University of California in Los Angeles. And we went out there to really get to know the people in Mexico and El Salvador. And I met this senor, and we're almost finished. So listen up real quick, because I want to tell you his story. This guy right here, I think he's 86 years old right now. He was 83 when I met him. He goes out and he works in the fields in Mexico. He goes out and he works every single day of his life. And you know why he has to do that? Because he has to take care of his family, of course. But he's been doing this since he was about your old age. Since he was about 8 years old, he had to go out and do this. He had to leave school. He didn't learn all the things that he was supposed to learn. He had to drop out of school at 8 years old. So sometimes we're like, man, I don't want to go to school. This school's too hard. You want to know what you really don't want to do and what's really, really hard? Is going and doing this type of work all the time. And much love and respect for the people that do this work, because I tried to do it for about a day and a half. I was like, no, I'm done. Like, I'm out. But you all have an amazing opportunity. Every time you come into this school, you have an amazing opportunity to learn, to feed your brain, and to build it up into one awesome muscle. But if you don't, sometimes you might have to do things that you don't like or that are much, much harder than coming to school and learning. And I just wanted to share that with you. And this right here, this is a tule, one of the oldest trees in the world right here. See how big that is compared to the church right there? That's a huge, huge tree. And we had the opportunity to see that as well. So here's my life rules, and I'm going to send y'all out, and if your teachers, y'all are welcome to dismiss when I start performing the next song, or y'all can stay and wait, either one. But remember to be nice to each other, treat each other nicely, don't be bullies, because nobody really likes a bully. Remember to, if we want to get better at something, what do? Practice, practice, practice. Excelente, you're already remembering it. And then the third thing is always remember to believe in yourself. Make sure you flip the light switch on. Don't leave it off because it's a lot easier when the light switch is on. So now I am going to perform my last song. It's called On the Road Again. You'll see my home city of Indianapolis. You'll see Los Angeles, California. You'll see New Mexico. You'll see Colorado. You see Seattle, a little bit of everywhere. Except Massachusetts because I've never been here before this time. But this one is called On the Road Again, and it's another bilingual song. Here we go. I'm on the road again, I'm on these shows again, cities and states, whatever it takes to reach these continents. I'm on the road again, I'm on my flow again, cities and states, whatever it takes to reach the continents. I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, gira por la calle. I'm on the road again, I'm all alone again, but I found my soul again, gira por la calle. Aquí estoy otro día, otro viaje, la vida del artista con el dolor que nadie sabe, pero es la vida que yo escogí, o mejor dicho, es la que me escogió a mí. Yo soy un hombre normal, con un flow de brutal, yo lo hago muy bien, no lo hago por mal, con el positivismo, la fe, el amor, nos olvidamos del pasado para quitar el dolor, cambié mi forma de ser, y también los mensajes, aunque me he visto en chinos, todavía tengo mis trajes, cambié el camuflaje para cuando tengo corajes, pensando en las cicatrices de mis voyages. Come on! I'm on the road again, I'm on these shows again, cities and states, whatever it takes to reach the continents. I'm on the road again, drive with me, here we go! I'm on the road again, here we go! I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, gira por la calle. I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, but I found my soul again, gira por la calle. Ok, voy a dejar las cosas claras. Yo no pienso que Dios me llame, yo no estoy aquí mañana. Yo amo a mi ciudad, Indianapolis, Indiana. Me encanta el merengue, la banda y bachata. No hay nadie como yo, que lo haga como yo. Pero más que mi talento, yo tengo corazón. No hay nadie como tú, que lo haga como tú. Tienes más que tu talento, tienes tu corazón. Dios te concede la serenidad para aceptar lo que no puedo cambiar, con el valor para cambiar lo que yo pueda y la experiencia para saber la diferencia. Here we go! I'm on the road again, I'm on these shows again, cities and states, whatever it takes to reach the continents. I'm on the road again, I'm on these shows again, cities and states, whatever it takes to reach the continents. I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, I'm on the road again, gira por la calle. I'm on the road again, I'm all alone again, but I found my soul again, gira por la calle. Joseph Metcalf, muchísimas gracias. Un placer. And you've done a phenomenal job, not only when it was time to be quiet and listen, but you also have done a very, very great job when it was time for you to participate as well. And you left a big impression on me and my heart, and I hope to be able to see you soon when I'm on the road again. Nos vemos. Adiós. Bye-bye.